This episode of the Burnout Recovery Podcast is brought to you by MEGA, your medical indemnity partner. Whether you're starting out in your career or have decades of experience, MEGA helps you thrive with support that goes beyond insurance. Enjoy travel benefits like complimentary travel insurance and Qantas points on your membership, plus education, medico-legal support, access to career coaching and wellbeing resources. Visit mega.com.au to learn more. Insurance issued by Medical Insurance Australia, which has not taken into account your objectives or situation. Before you make any decisions about our policies, please read our PDS and consider your needs. Call us for a copy or visit mega.com.au.
Welcome to the Burnout Recovery Podcast, a guiding resource dedicated to healthcare professionals on their journey to overcoming burnout. Spearheaded by Dr. Joe Braid, a certified professional coach and rehabilitation physician.
Welcome back to the Burnout Recovery Podcast. I'm Dr. Joe Braid, and today we're diving into something that might seem simple, but is absolutely life-changing. The power of rediscovering who you are when you take off that white coat. Now, I know not all of you are doctors who are listening to this podcast, so think about what the other metaphorical piece of identity is that you wear when you're at work. Maybe it's scrubs, maybe it's something completely different, but something that really identifies you in your professional role. Today is episode number 158, titled The Hobby That Reminded Me Who I Am. If you're listening to this and you've completely forgotten what you used to love doing before medicine consumed every waking moment, this episode is your wake-up call. Let me paint you a picture. You wake up thinking about your list of patients you're going to see today. You eat breakfast while you're reviewing lab reports. You drive to work mentally rehearsing difficult conversations. You come home and your partner asks you about your day, and somehow every story circles back to the hospital or clinic. Sound familiar? This was me during my burnout. I had become Dr. Joe Braid 24/7, and I'd completely lost Joe, just Joe. The person who used to have interests, passions, and dreams that had absolutely nothing to do with providing healthcare for others. Here's what I realized. We put on that white coat and it becomes like a second skin. We forget that we're also partners, parents, friends, athletes, artists, dreamers. We forget that our worth isn't tied to our stethoscope, and our identity shouldn't be imprisoned by our profession. During my burnout recovery, I had to ask myself a confronting question. Who am I when I'm not being a doctor? And honestly, I had no idea. That terrified me. I was really sucked into everything about building my private clinic and delivering the best service that I could with incredibly high expectations for myself and putting everybody else's needs, whether that's aging parents or young children, babes in arms actually at the time, before my own. So the reason I'm telling you this story is because it might just remind you of who you are beneath that white coat. The hobby that reminded me of who I am is social tennis, right here in Orange. We started playing as a group of mums from school together in 2019, 2020, every Friday morning, set as a regular lesson time with between 4 and 8 of us showing up every Friday morning, plus our coach. Now, before you picture some graceful athlete gliding across the court, let me set the record straight. The net gets in the way of way more balls than I care to admit, but we laugh, we get sweaty, and my technique is, well, let's call it enthusiastic. But here's the magic. For that time that I'm on the court, I'm not Dr. Braid. I'm just Joe, trying to return a serve without embarrassing myself completely. And you know what? It's absolutely liberating. I've played tennis this morning. There were 4 of us, plus our coach. It was such a fun, about an hour and 20 minutes. We had the best time. What fascinates me is how tennis strategies actually enhance both our personal and professional life. The preparation, the commitment, the resilience required to overcome obstacles on the court, these skills transfer beautifully to life off the court. But here's the key difference. On the tennis court, I'm learning these lessons through joy, not stress. I'm building resilience through play, not pressure. In tennis, love means zero, starting fresh. And isn't that exactly what we need sometimes? To start at love at zero and rediscover what brings us alive. To remember that we're allowed to be beginners at something, to be imperfect, to play purely for the joy of it. So here's your challenge, and I want you to take this seriously. Tonight, when you get home, literally take off your white coat and ask yourself, what did I love doing before medical school consumed my life? What activities make me completely lose track of time? When do I laugh so hard my stomach hurts? And what would I choose to do on a completely free weekend? So let's get real about work-life balance. It's not about perfect 50-50 splits. That's unrealistic in healthcare. It's about having something in your life that's completely yours. Your prescription, yes, I am prescribing this. Number 1, identify one activity that calls to you. Number 2, schedule it like a critical appointment with yourself. 3, practice being fully present. 4, notice how it feels to succeed at something unrelated to medicine. Here's what tennis continues to teach me. You don't have to be good at something to love it. You don't have to be perfect to find joy. You're allowed to be a beginner, to make mistakes, and to laugh at yourself. In medicine, mistakes can be catastrophic. In hobbies, mistakes are just part of the fun, and what a relief. So your hobby doesn't have to be tennis. Maybe it's gardening, painting, hiking, cooking, or learning the guitar. The point is finding something that reminds you of who you are beneath all those professional titles and responsibilities. You are so much more than your medical degree. You're a complex, interesting, multifaceted human being who deserves to experience joy that has nothing to do with your job. Don't let burnout steal your identity. Take off that white coat when you get home and go rediscover the person you were before medicine and the person you're still becoming. This has been another episode of the Burnout Recovery Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. And if this resonates, please share it with a colleague or a friend. I'm Dr. Jo Braid, reminding you that recovery isn't just about surviving your medical career. It's about thriving as a complete human being. Until next time, give yourself permission to play. Ready to take the next step in your burnout recovery journey? Visit drjobraid.com for free resources, all 150 plus podcast episodes, and information about my keynote speaking. Links are in the show notes. Your well-being matters. Protect the asset that is you. Be your best you. Rely on MEGA for your protection and support, serving doctors for over 125 years through insurance, education, medical legal advice, and member benefits designed to help you thrive and succeed. Insurance issued by Medical Insurance Australia, which has not taken into account your objectives or situation. Before you make any decisions about our policies, please read our PDS and consider your needs. Call us for a copy or visit mega.com.au.